All right, guys, we're back with listener questions, and our first question coming in from Chris Zotner is, after listening to you guys' podcast today, I decided to pick up some of the Grip Plus to try. I have a question, though. Maybe you'll be answer, why does Ricky like to have his stocks unchecked? So that one's coming to you, Rick.
Well, it goes back to, oh, Lord, I guess in 2006, I switched to Krieghoff, and I had Wenig make my stock for me. So get the stock, go down, work everything. It's a pattern stock, but it's actually my wood stock. A lot of pattern stocks most people get made are, bondoed, yada, yada.
Right.
This was actually made out of the blank that was sent from Dieter Krieghoff, and it was a rifle blank. So this thing was huge.
Oh, wow.
And so they made it, and Jimmy was like, okay, I'm like, okay. I was so used to shooting a straight stock. This stock comes out. It's got a lot of toe out and all this. And I'm like, he goes, you trust me? And I said, hey, man, you're the stock maker. I'm the shooter. Just make it fit me. He goes, well, we're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. And it was just sealed. So smooth, they sanded it, sealed it just in case I had to do anything with the grip. And because one of the most important parts of, the stock making, and we touched base on that in the Bobby Chambers episode, and we did it in the Bill Ingham with the grip. So they said, just in case, okay. So I shot that gun for 6 months with no checkering. And I was like, man, I like this. This is great. Well, when I went to get it finished, Bobby Chambers is like, what kind of checkering you want? I'm like, I don't want any checkering. He goes, Rick, you shot with checkering. And I said, no, I like that. And he goes, and you want to put this, high gloss finish on it? And I go, yeah. He goes, I don't recommend that. I said, I know what I want. And he goes, okay. So literally, I get it done. It comes out beautiful. And it's the stock I'm still shooting since 2006. I had to move it over just a little bit because little, weight in the cheeks. But so I'm out shooting like the second shoot, and it starts raining. And I'm holding the gun, and I get never forget this. I'm on post one. It's like my second or third shot. I get a left angle, and I go, whoop, and my hand goes all the way back to the trigger guard. I was like, what the hell? And I'm like, wiping my hands. I'm trying to keep it. I'm like, man, every time I wipe the forend, it just keeps getting shinier and shinier. And I'm like, I got to figure this out. So I'm like, okay, I could put, pine tar. I tried some spray, and it was like, it was just, I'm like, okay, that ain't going to work. And I found the grip, Prince Grip Plus. It's made by Prince. And I was like, this is great. Used it. I've used some other brands. And then Prince went out of business. And I'm like, well, they just came back. I think it's been about a year and a half ago or so. They came back. A company bought that branding of it and is making it again. I get it at the tennis shops. And I put a little bit on, and not like some people. My buddy Dave Mansell puts it on. His stock looks like it's white.
Right. Yeah, it's a bad deal.
But, yeah, Zach, my buddy Justin uses it. There's been a lot of people that have gotten stocks made with no checkering. I just like that feel. Now, I will say, so on my sporting pigeon skeet guns, all my forends are checkered on those. I don't have my forend checkered on my trap gun. I actually thought about doing it, but I'm like, nah, it's not broke.
So, I think it comes down to preference for the listener, though. At the end of the day, the benefits of checkering are more grip control. So in the rain, in the rain, when your hands are sweaty, when you're dealing with all those deals, okay, grip control. The downside is I've got calluses and rips in my hand because I squeeze that checkering pretty aggressively. Most of the guys that use checkering and squeeze a stock, you might get a little beat up in your hands versus, Rick's got that nice smooth piece of wood that he's holding on to all day.
I still get some calluses here and there because but when I had checkering, it was really bad. So
it's different. It's a different deal.
You can get stuff on Amazon too. There's other companies out there that work. Some are a little more chalky. I would just recommend that, wipe your guns down. Really it doesn't bother my finish because my plantation scrolls on nickel finish. So it's really hard to mess up nickel. But a nitride finished gun, it can, possibly do some damage to that, I think. I don't know, though.
I like to make sure to wipe off the barrels and the receivers with a little bit of rim oil or whatever on a cloth and wipe it off and get it done. That way it's not sticking to it. Because you can't. One time I accidentally put that white stuff on my finger and I touched the barrel and it left like a fingerprint and it like rusted a fingerprint into the side of my barrel. I'm like, oh crap. That's
just because you're Italian acidity in your hands.
It is. I got that.
Is correct. When people watch me shoot, if they notice, like when I start before every round, I wipe the barrel and the receiver. So what that is because when I'm walking out there, I try to like clap my hands and get some of that chalk off there. It's still like dried, so it's a little grip, but I'll get it on the rib, and when I'm out the gun, I can see that.
Right.
So I always try to wipe the barrel and the side off because my peripheral vision is so good that I see everything, So that's. But
Letitia, we use it at the
Grand.
like when we went to the Grand, and in that humidity, because we're coming from a dry climate, out here.
Yeah.
And going to the Grand, everything's just a little bit more wet, and it works really good. I buy it on Amazon. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get it on
The biggest
Amazon.
thing you don't want to do, though, folks, is you don't want to mix it up with the Vaseline that you put on your face to slide your gun, because it'll really rip a hole in your face if you put the grip on when you're trying to use the Vaseline. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, folks. Hey, thanks for the question. Keep sending them in. You can send them in through the social media, or the easiest way is to send it to askus@traptalkpodcast.com. Thanks, guys, for answering that question for Chris.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.